Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. It's your brother Malcolm Flex TV. We in the house. Assalamu alaikum. What's going on with the family? What's going on with the family? Tap in, tune in. We live. It's your brother Malcolm Flex TV. I wanted to do a review of the Revolt TV Summit. Very great panel. Very enlightening uh, summit. I don't know how many of y'all had the opportunity to watch and see the Revolt TV Summit. Okay, if you haven't had the opportunity to go and watch that particular panel, okay, it was very good. It was very good. I mean, I was pumped up throughout the whole show. I mean, it was that good, man. The Revolt TV Summit, man, and it reminded me the Revolt TV Summit reminded me the State of the Black Union by Tavis Smiley. Okay, they had people, all the people who were on the panel. You had people like Sister Tamika Mallory, Sister Candace Owens, and just to have them two on the same panel at the same time, you know, Sister Tamika Mallory and Sister Candace Owens was profound. You had Sister Tamika Mallory, Sister Candace Owens. You had another sister. I don't really know her what her name is. She was like a pro-Trump supporter. You had Killer Mike, okay, Ti, Tip. He was on the panel, and some other brother. I don't necessarily know the brother's name, okay, but you had brother can't think of the other brother name that was hosting it, but he used to be a host on BT. Okay, brother used to be a host on BT, man. So, but the main uh, thing about the panel was about hip hop and politics, and basically the future of black people and where we are headed. Okay, and the thing about this summit, right, was to highlight these very important factors that's going on inside of the black community. So again, you had Sister Tamika Mallory on the panel, you had Candace Owens on the panel, right? And when Sister Candace Owens got on the panel, you already know it's going to be a heated discussion and conversation. And Sister came on the panel right off the bat and going after the Democratic Party, you know. But I learned today that she stated that she wasn't neither Republican nor Democrat, but Donald J. Trump had enlightened her to certain aspects of the Democratic Party, which caused her to leave the Democratic Party. Okay? Because she feels that the Democratic Party always play on the race issue once it concerned black people. Peace to you, Brother Corey. She believes that the Democratic Party preys on black people for the black vote, and they use racism as a tactic to get black votes, which is true, right? Which is some truth to that, right? So she went on the offensive against members of the Democratic Party, right? And then you have people on the panel like Brother Killer Mike, who's a Democrat, who's a supporter of Bernie Sanders. But what Killer Mike stated and made clear that he put black people first before politics, before any political party, right? He stated that first, that he's putting his people before any political machine, you know. So the discussion got very heated. There was couple of situations where brothers and sisters kind of got out of character a little bit on the summit, but for the most part, the summit was great, But there was something that was said by Killer Mike that was very important and very key, because as you can see on the panel, right, there is a power struggle among black people. Now, it's okay and a beautiful thing that we have black people generally from all walks of life, right? We got all different type of thinking black people, right? We got blacks who are conservative, blacks who are liberal, blacks who are moderate, blacks who are Republican, Democrat, independent, and some who just don't participate in the political machine, right? And what I noticed and what Killer Mike stated is that we many black people who consider ourselves Republican, Democrat, so forth and so forth, we spend most of our time arguing and debating on who has the best master. Okay? Who has the best master? My master, Donald Trump, is better than your master, Barack Obama. Or my master over the Democratic Party is better than your master over in the Republican Party. And what Killer Mike was saying is that we have to quit fighting each other and arguing with one another over who has the best master and fighting over who's going to stay in whose house, stay in their house. He said we need to fight and worry about what's going on in our own house, right? And he named a few people once they left the summit that they can go and listen to some people who are more conservative, and they can go and listen to people who don't participate in politics, like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Minister Farrakhan, Dick Gregory, and so forth and so forth, that'll please all black people as a whole. Okay? And he stated that we as black people need to not worry so much over the politics aspect and fighting each other over these invisible walls that we got in front of us, that we all need to come in the room together, regardless of where we come from, what our background is, put all that stuff to the side and come up with an agenda, okay, that's going to help black people and further our cause, okay, because we are divided over stupid stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, what we think is important isn't really that important at all. In the grand scheme of things, it's really not that important, because if you didn't have the chance to go and see the Revolt TV Summit and you get a chance to watch it, you will see that we argue and we nitpick over things that we have no control over, right? We argue and fight over things that we have no control over, but why don't we focus on the things that we do have control over and that we can control? We can't sit up here and get mad at other people who come into our communities and do what they doing, when in truth that we have the the power to change whatever that's going on in our community, whether it be in economics when we got these other races of people who come into our community and set up shop. We got power as well. We got spending power in the black community. We have power to determine who we want in Congress, who we want in any type of political branch. We have the power to vote. If we choose to vote, we have to be organized in unity on the same front with one agenda. You know what I mean? We can't have, all these different agendas and throwing stuff at the wall and expecting something to stick. Because the power is in our unity. And we can't just say, that we need to unite and it just no. It's gonna take for us to do consistent meeting and working and figuring out and trying to solve our problems and our issues collectively, putting away our pride and our ego, okay, and our jealousy and envy among one another, and go behind closed doors and figure out what's the best direction for the youth that is coming up under us, okay? And that's the main thing that I heard from Killer Mike, because naturally, there's going to be a lot of bickering and fighting among one another when it comes to politics. Peace to you, Brother Clarence. When it comes to politics, religion, you know what I mean, music, sports, and what have you. But we are in a burning house, and we ain't got time to be fighting and arguing on how to put the fire out. Okay, we just need to get it done. Okay, we just need to get it done and coming out with a solution. If we as a whole care about the whole of black people, because a lot of times when I'm dealing with black people, brothers and sisters be like, um, brothers and sisters be like, oh yeah, no, well what about everybody? Well, me personally, I'm not here to work on behalf of everybody, because when black people are suffering, then where is everybody? You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't to be found when our people is suffering and doing bad. So I'm not focused on everybody right now. I'm focused on a national agenda for black people. Okay? And we need to decide, because we got people talking about we want reparations, we want this and that. But just as Brother Jay Morrison said in the Q&A portion, that we have to have a global national identity. We have to have a national identity. You know what I mean? Because you can't be able to get reparations if you don't even know or have a nationality. Right? And you can't have a nationality if you are not tied to a particular or specific landmass. Right? So we in the Nation of Islam, we are a nation. But a lot of our people may not necessarily agree with the name, with the title. They may have an issue with Nation of Islam. Then we have the Moors. Some people may have an issue with that. We got Christian church. Some people may have an issue with that. We got the Hebrew Israelites, the Kemites, the Nuwapians. We got black people from all different types of walk of life. Okay? But if we want to separate and be able to do what we want to do as collectively as a group, and be self-independent and self-determined, okay, and do what we want to do, then we have to collectively have something to identify us and who we are and what we want to do. You know what I mean? Yes, Killer Mike, that brother went in. That brother had me fired up. you know, and just based on the way the brother was teaching in on the panel, you know, that's the teachings of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. But you just hearing it from a brother who's not a registered member in the Nation of Islam. So a lot of these said is in harmony with the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and he was telling them. You know, he even referred to Minister Farrakhan and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad on the panel because what the Nation of Islam has and what the Muslims want in our program is very relevant to black people's situation all the way in 2019 is very relevant. But we have many individuals within the black community, within the black sphere, who have issues with the Nation of Islam, whether they be personal, whether they be through Malcolm X or whatever the situation is, you know. But the thing is that we have to figure out a collective agenda, because I remember hearing the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan say, and I heard Dr. Ava say, that everybody ain't going to join the mosque. Everybody is not going to join the Nation of Islam. I heard Minister Farrakhan say at the Million Man March 1995 that you don't have to necessarily join the nation, join the mosque. He said just join a black organization, right? And let's unify. Okay, let's organize. You know what I'm saying? Let's put in some type of work. But the thing is what he said is very right. But that is causing us to continuously have these invisible barriers, these invisible walls in between black people. So in 2019, we need to come up and figure out a collective name and identity that identifies us as a collective, and we need to put together a agenda, or like Brother Killer Mike said, a constitution. Sister said that Link was on a panel in the South with folks talking about revolution. He said y'all ain't ready to revolt shit until you do what Elijah said and get A states. I paraphrase. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, and I agree entirely with that. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing, and this is my thing, and this is what, and he kind of spoke the words right out of my mouth, because we put a lot of energy and time and resources in going out to vote, okay, which is a beautiful thing if you know how to vote. If you don't understand how to lobby and leverage your power, your voting power, okay, we will continuously have unfulfilled desires. We will continuously have unfulfilled desires because we don't know how to leverage our vote. We don't know how to leverage our spending power. We don't know how to lobby politicians. You know what I mean? And how to get them to do what we are asking them to do. Because like the minister teaches, I heard Pastor Jamal Bryant also say the same thing, is that many politicians are prostitutes. They're for sale. So I loved it when I heard Sister Tamika Mallory on the panel, when she also stated what the minister said. You know, we need our own political machine. Okay? We need our own political party. The minister said we should call it the Justice Party. We need our own political machine, and we can put our own politicians up there to where we can hold them accountable if they sell out. Okay? We don't have to depend on Democrats, Republicans, independent. We have the power to change that. We, the people, okay, have the power to change that. You know what I mean? Because we can't expect white supremacy like Brother T.I. said, to give us equality. Okay, we can't go to the oppressor and expect him to give us what we can give ourselves, right? We can't go to the oppressor and expect him to give us what we can give ourselves. So it's about self-determination and self-independence, but having a collective and universal agenda and mind frame. We all have to be on the same accord. You know what I mean? Because when I watched the panel, okay, I think that the only voice of reason that was on the panel was Killer Mike. You know, I mean, but again, everybody did a wonderful job that was on the panel. I mean, that the panel was par excellence. I thought that panel was updated hip hop, more cultural version of the State of the Black Union. But this panel didn't have, our normal black leaders up there. You know what I mean? With the Cornel West, Tavis Smiley, Minister Farrakhan, Maxine Waters, Dick Gregory, um, you know, and so forth and so forth. This was like more people who are part of hip hop culture, but who are also activists. You know, that's why I thought it was very dope, man. I thought they were a great continuance and an extension of the conversation that's been going on long before we were even born. You know what I mean? I thought it was a great continuance of the conversation, man. And I saw the pride of all them black people of just being black. You know what I mean? And just even Candace Owens kind of surprised me. You know what I mean? That because she said some good stuff that I also agree with as well. Some stuff that I disagree with. But for the most part, it showed me that she had a black cell up in her. You know, she got some black in her, and that's one thing that kind of surprised me, that she wasn't all the way cooned out that we normally see her on Fox News and other various white supremacist TV networks. So I was a little surprised by that. But again, man, I would suggest those who haven't seen it to go back and watch it, man, because it's very serious, man. It's very serious, man. And there was a comment on there that was made that one brother said, I don't go out and vote because our ancestors went and died just for us to vote. I go and vote, just so my children can be able to have a better life and whatnot. But Killer Mike kind of stumped that out. Peace to you, brother. Peace. Truth makes you free. Kind of stumped that out, and he was like, brother, we can't forget our past and where we came from. He was like, because I'm from the South, and many people from the South died. And I went to school and got educated, because if I didn't go to school and get educated on this from a black college, I would never even known that our people was on the front lines and they paved the way for us just to vote. So to teach people that we got to forget about our pioneers that came before us, I don't. He was like, I don't agree with that. I learned that just so I can be able to teach it to my children. So I thought the panel was, and the summit was very great for black people. And I think that we need to do more of this, whether it be streamed and televised, or we do it behind closed doors. We need to have more of these conversations, and not only just have these conversations, we need real tangible solutions, because one of the main themes that I heard from Tamika Mallory, Killer Mike, and even T.I., is that our people are living in poverty. We need the main thing that we need is jobs. We need employment, within the black community. We had a couple Trump supporters on the panel who kept saying, well, Trump uh, put this many jobs in the black community. He gave billions of dollars to the black community, da 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 da. But Tamika Mallory was saying, well, we in the streets every day among our people, among black people. So we want you to go to these black communities and see if these black people got jobs. And I can, as a Muslim in the Nation of Islam, I can agree 100% with what she's saying, because the FOI are commanded and instructed by our leader to go out in the streets among the people, and we see the condition that our people are living in on a daily basis. We see their actual reality, and their reality has not changed due to what they are claiming Donald Trump has done. See, and that's the political. Those are the talking points that they like to use against Democrats and say, well, Donald Trump has done more for black people than President Barack Obama, which is not true. Which is not true. So we as a people have to quit relying on politics to give out jobs and employ our people. We have to quit relying on that. We have to create new systems of job development and opportunities. You know what I mean? We have to, even if we got to put pressure on the wealthy class in the black community, that's what we got to do to develop jobs and create employment within our community. Because every time I run into young black youth, even some older brothers and sisters sometimes, a lot of them are willing to work if they can, if they had the opportunities to. A lot of them would prefer to work. You know what I mean? A lot of them don't want to be out there living the life that they're living, robbing, stealing, selling drugs, prostituting, pimping, or whatnot. A lot of them are doing just enough just to get by. But most of them would prefer to have a career, would prefer to have a trade or a skill or a business or a job. When I look at a lot of these brothers and sisters out here in the community are actually brilliant people. Even those who are incarcerated, very intelligent. Peace to you, brother Josh Mason. A lot of brothers and sisters who are very intelligent, even who are incarcerated. Some of them got 2, 3, and 4 degrees that are incarcerated. A lot of brothers and sisters who are homeless got 2, 3, and 4 degrees. Got trades, got certificates. You know what I mean? And just fell on hard times. You know what I mean? So we need to build systems and structures and industries to help sustain the black community so we don't have to depend on the government. Why? Because we are too dependent on the government, who don't intend to do anything for us, whether it be a white Democrat or a white Republican. They're not going to cater to our needs. That's just a fact, and we've been dealing with this for years. Even black politicians, they're not going to cater to the black community and get us out of the situation and the condition that we are in. And that's why, and at first, when I first started watching the summit, I was like, man, damn. I wish it was like a FOI or MGT on the panel. But after hearing Killer Mike speak on the panel, man, I felt that, we had a FOI up there. We had a Muslim brother up there speaking on our behalf on that panel, just based on a lot of the things that the brother said. Man, it resonated with me, man. You know, so I mean, again, if you haven't seen the Revolt TV, oh man, I hope you press the bell. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why not. But if you haven't seen the Revolt TV summit, man, the hip hop and politics, man, y'all gotta go and watch that. Y'all gotta go check it out, man. I mean, as soon as I woke up this morning, man, I was watching that with my cup of coffee, man, and I'm like, man, this is a very good discussion, man. Now the question is, what are we gonna do? Because we can talk all day long. We can talk for 24 hours, 7 days a week. But the question is, what's going to be the plan of action? What's going to be the straw that breaks the camel back? And we going to say, enough is enough. We're going to come together as a people under one umbrella, under one roof. I don't give a damn what you call yourself. If you love black people and you want to see us successful and you want to see us prosper, okay, regardless of what you call yourself, regardless to where you come from, regardless to what language you speak, we don't care about none of that. Okay? What if, like Killer Mike said, if we can take what's good from this group, take what's good from that group, take what's good from this group, and put everything together and create a 10-point plan collectively on how we going to move against everybody else that's against us, okay? We use our political power, our economic power, our financial power, our physical resources, okay, and how we gonna galvanize all this stuff that we have within the black community collectively in ranks, in arms, besides one another, and get some, excuse my language, get some shit done. Pinpoint blank. That's all we care about. That's all we care about. You know. So again, this is your brother Malcolm Flex TV, man. I thought, I just do this live review, man, cause again, just watching that Revolt TV summit, man, hip hop and politics, man. I'm fired up, man. It's like, man, whatever I can do to help you, man, I want to do it, man. I think we should figure out how we can start our own political party, our own political machine, because it's voting season coming up again. Voting season is coming up again, and everybody is worried about getting Trump out of office, but I think all we doing is just trade one slave master for another slave master. That's what I think. I think we just trade one slave master for another slave master. We don't need no more slave masters. We need liberators. We need saviors. Excuse me. We need saviors. We need liberators. You know what I mean? We need fresh, new ideas. We need more young people getting involved. You know what I mean? With this, we need a new movement. You know what I mean? We need a new movement. You know what I mean? Whatever we want to call it, justice, whatever we want to call it, we need something that's going to identify us as a new people going forward. I would prefer Nation of Islam, but we got many people within the black community have an issue with being with the name being associated with the name or the title. So I would say that we need something. We need an umbrella that all black people can come under. You know what I mean? We need a name for a movement that all black people could come under, that we can all agree on. Okay, I don't necessarily subscribe to ADOS, Americans, Descendants of Slaves, because I think that we are more than just American descendants of slaves. In my opinion, I think we're more than just that. So I think that we need to figure out a name that gives us a nationality as a whole group of people. Okay, and we can again, we can take the best parts from each organization, put it in an agenda, a constitution, okay, and rules and guidelines that we are going to live by, and that we are going to lobby, and that we are going to put into action. That's just my thoughts and my opinion on how we should move collectively as a people, for future, well, for present and future progress. You know, so I mean, your brother ain't here to talk y'all, but I just wanted to give y'all my review. I think that the Revolt TV Summit was spectacular, man. Again, it was par excellence, and I would suggest brothers and sisters go if you have the time. It's about an hour and some minutes long. To go, take the time out your day, watch it. Even if you got to watch it in increments, go and watch that summit, man, and because it will give you insight on the way that we think as a people, man. And as a people, you can't put us in a box. We are not a monolith. Okay, we have people of various talents, various ways of thinking, okay, and in various sectors within society. So this is your brother Malcolm Flex TV, man. I want to do a Q&A on the Tribe of Shabazz series that I did. I'm also I'm already doing research on Yakub and the island of Patmos, because I want to see if I can find a connection between DNA and history and the Yakub story that was given us by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because I found some information, but I also ran into a dead end as well. But I found some very interesting information in regards to that. And I also want to deal with the Abos, the Aboriginals, because Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that our people came on this part of the planet 16,000 years ago. So I know if I can trace people through DNA 50,000 years ago, the tribe of Shabazz, I can do the same thing with the science of DNA and genetics with a people 16,000 years ago. So I intend on doing that. I got a lot of notes in regards to that, man, because you got a brother who's kind of like a leader in that particular field. I think brother's name is Dan Calloway. I know a lot of you all are familiar with it. I hear a lot of people say he's pseudo as well. I've heard some stuff from him, but I haven't heard everything that the brother has presented. Okay. But I'm going to do some research on that I will be presenting as well. But again, I think as a people, we need a collective, a universal identity that identifies us as a people, if we want to achieve the things that we want and need to achieve in regards to black people in America in 2019. Okay, and then we build ourselves up, we get strong, and then we reach out to our brothers around the world in the Caribbeans, in South and Central America, Africa, wherever we are, wherever our people are, after we get strong first. So with that, family, this is your brother Malcolm Flex TV, man. I didn't intend to hold y'all long. I just wanted to be strong with this quick review. So peace and assalamu alaikum.